Hi, I'm Pete from Enviroline, and today we're looking at our new ECO-50 budget camera. When you unbox your camera out of the box, it looks exactly like this. We put our fingers in the little holes in the front here and push down, and that undoes the latches, and the camera opens up like so. There's a protective steel plate for the 10-inch screen, which opens up and makes itself a sunshade. It has a charging port here, a power button here, and it's got a 512 kilohertz sonde, which is always on, and a self-leveling camera head. The camera head is located down here and usually resides in this little holder underneath here for storage. When you're using the camera, you clip it in like so. Now, it's a 23mm diameter camera with a Sony module in it. Now, before you use the camera, you should charge it, and to get the camera accessories that come with it, they are underneath the keyboard here. So basically you push forward on the, unclip the keyboard and take it out, and in here we have our manual, a set of batteries for the wireless keyboard, a roller skid for 4-inch pipe, a smaller skid, a couple of caps, your charging cable, which goes in to here and plugs into the wall. You have a small screwdriver to help tighten your skids to your camera, and you have 2 diagnostic cables. Now, these are usually used by the technician when they're checking the camera if you have a fault, right? One of them is for this port here, to plug the camera into this port, and the other one is to plug into the main line underneath where the red push rod fits in, to test the camera to the push rod port when they're diagnosing. So these, basically, they come wrapped up in wrap. You can put them down in the bottom so you don't lose them. Now, the next thing to do is to take, after charging the camera, and it's best to plug it in and charge it up and make sure it's fully charged before you use it, is to fit the 2 batteries into the keyboard. And this is done like so. Pop your 2 batteries in, click your cross and switch your keyboard on. Now, it is a wireless keyboard. There's a wireless keyboard module here. If you were ever to break this keyboard or whatever, you could get a standard keyboard from Coles or somewhere, plug the key in there, and it will work. The keyboard simply goes back underneath and just pops in like so and locks back in. Okay, so, and turn on the camera like so, and the switch goes blue. You get an announcement, and here we are. And you can see the denim on my jeans there and the stitching. Right, if I bring it back to the focal length, you can see you've got quite a lot of detail there, including how worn my belt is. Okay, on the screen here, we have a zoom button. So 1, 2, press it again, and it goes back to normal. So there's a double zoom in there. To take a photo, you simply press the camera button, you get a small camera there, and you get a photograph. To make a video, you press the video button, and we'll let it record something here. And this is done in a studio with no lights on, so it's a little bit dark, this picture. And then we'll turn it off. And that's it, one more touch to record. This button is your settings button, and it allows you to get into the brightness of the camera and a few other things I wouldn't really go into that myself at the moment. You can probably mess things up by fiddling around inside, but you can reset it back to factory defaults. This next lower button is for your camera lights, and they're basically 1, 2, and you can see down here 3, and that's the brightest setting there with the lights on, right? And then one more touch and the lights are back off. So remember to turn the lights off and turn your camera off when you're finished. Now, your meterage display is located down here. At the moment it says 0.1 metres. So if I was in the position where I wanted to start my survey, I'd simply hit the 0 button, and that zeroes your meterage. So when you travel out, your meterage travels out with you, and when you come back in, the meterage comes back in. I'm using the cable guide on the side here as to when I pull in and out, because it's more efficient in keeping everything coiled, right? Now, our menu button is this lower button here. So it's one button, and we're on our video. So I can play my video, or I can go backwards to an earlier video, or I can come backwards to another video. So if I want to bin this video, I simply hit the garbage can, confirm it, and I've binned that video. When I hit the menu button again, I come to the still photographs. So I can then cycle through the photos I've taken, which is 2 photos. If I want to bin the photo, again, hit the bin button, confirm it, and I'm now back to the photo that I do have in the menu. And where the SD card symbol is in the bottom right-hand corner, which shows you you're looking at the memory. Hit it again, and we go off, and you've got your battery display, which is all green, the SD card memory display, meterage, and time, date, and display. Okay, SD card is located in this slot here, and there's a small AV out screen there for output here. All right, this is how you use the keyboard on the ECO-50 camera. Basically, you type in the information you wish, letters or whichever, whatever gibberish you want, and then I'm going to take a photograph of this problem. So I simply take my photo. Now, then I can delete the information. It works exactly the same way a computer keyboard does. In fact, it is a QWERTY keyboard. Now, when we go to our menu, there's no video files, of course. Here's our photo files, right? And this is the information displayed at the top with the time, date, the meterage, and the information we typed on. Now I'm going to show you how to connect the camera skids to the ECO-50 camera. When you get the machine, there's this little screwdriver, which is quite handy. Don't lose it, because you'll need it to connect the skids. This is the smallest skid, which is the one you'll probably use the most. It has these little plastic keepers here, which you get screwed in. It's got teeth on the front, which is the camera head goes in the back way here, where there's no teeth, toward the teeth in the front to keep it. So I slide it on like so, take my screwdriver, finger tight the skids, check them, and now I'm ready to put it in the drain and insert it in the drain. These just keep the camera out of the muck in the bottom of the pipe. So if you're in a line with a bit of silt and sand in the bottom, this raises it out of the muck, because it's a 25mm camera head. Usually you're going to be in 95mm or 100mm pipe, 90 or 100mm pipe, I should say. So basically this will get it out of the muck. There is a larger roller skid for 4-inch pipes, which is quite effective. It works exactly the same way and has the same fittings, right? When you wish to remove your skid from your camera, It's just simply take it out of the drain, undo the screws, take the camera head off. Now, it won't be as clean as this when it comes out of the drain. There'll be sand, silt, grit, whatever. Just wash the camera off with a little bit of clean water and wash down the spring and the rest of it. Normally when you go into the pipe, you push it in. When you're coming back, usually I like to keep a rag nearby and just wipe the rod off as I go. The cleaner you keep your camera, the less problems you will have. If you've got any other questions regarding this unit, please contact us online.